Jennifer Lopez and Ted Lasso stars R-rated comedy arrives soon on Netflix. Netflix is about to drop one of its most unexpected romantic comedies in years, and it's bringing together two stars audiences never knew they needed in the same movie. Jennifer Lopez, Brett Goldstein. A workplace romance, an R rating, and enough awkward office tension to make HR quit immediately. The upcoming Netflix comedy office romance premieres June 5, 2026, and it's already generating serious buzz online thanks to its raunchy humor, star power, and the fact that it pairs global superstar Jennifer Lopez with Ted Lasso breakout actor and writer Brett Goldstein. Today, we're breaking down everything about this movie. The cast, the story, why Netflix is betting big on it, how Brett Goldstein went from growling football coach to rom-com lead, and whether this could become the streaming giant's next massive hit. So grab your coffee, ignore your unread emails, and prepare for the most chaotic office relationship Netflix has ever approved. Let's start with the basics. Office Romance is an upcoming R-rated Netflix romantic comedy directed by Ol Parker, the filmmaker behind Ticket to Paradise and Mamma Mia. Here we go again. The film stars Jennifer Lopez as Jackie Cruz, the intimidating CEO of a company called Air Cruz, while Brett Goldstein plays Daniel Blanchflower, a new lawyer who enters her world and completely disrupts her carefully controlled life. And according to Netflix's official setup, the two begin a secret relationship that spirals into personal and professional chaos. Now, if that already sounds more intense than your average rom-com, that's because this movie is intentionally leaning into edgier territory. The film reportedly earned its R rating for sexual material, language throughout, and graphic nudity. So this is definitely not another safe, predictable office love story where two people exchange cute glances near the printer and kiss during the Christmas party. Netflix clearly wants this movie to feel modern, bold, messy, and unapologetically adult. And honestly, that may be exactly why audiences are paying attention. Jennifer Lopez has spent decades reinventing herself. Singer, dancer, businesswoman, producer, movie star. And over the last several years, she's quietly become one of Netflix's most reliable collaborators. After starring in Netflix films like The Mother and Atlas, Lopez continued expanding her partnership with the streamer through her production company, New Orican Productions. But Office Romance feels different. This isn't an action movie. It isn't a sci-fi thriller. It's a return to something audiences strongly associate with Jennifer Lopez. The romantic comedy. Think back to The Wedding Planner, Made in Manhattan, Monster-in-Law, Marry Me. Jennifer Lopez understands the rom-com genre better than most stars in Hollywood. But now she's mixing that classic charm with a more mature, R-rated edge. And at this stage in her career, that's actually smart. Because audiences don't want the exact same formula anymore. They want chemistry, chaos, humor that feels contemporary, and characters who actually act like adults. That's where Brett Goldstein enters the picture. If you watch Ted Lasso, then you already know Brett Goldstein. He played Roy Kent, the angry, gravel-voiced football legend who somehow became one of television's most lovable characters. But what many people forget is that Goldstein wasn't just acting on Ted Lasso. He was also a writer and executive producer. And that matters. Because Office Romance wasn't simply handed to him. He co-wrote the script alongside Joe Kelly, another Ted Lasso creative collaborator. That means this movie likely carries the same emotional comedy balance that made Ted Lasso resonate globally. Only now, the language is dirtier, the romance is steamier, and the workplace tension is probably much more dangerous. Goldstein himself reportedly said workplace relationships are interesting because people are trying their best to behave correctly while also being completely undone by their feelings. That's actually a perfect summary of modern romantic comedy. People pretending they're in control while emotionally spiraling. Relatable. Netflix understands something extremely important. Romantic comedies never really died. They just changed platforms. In the 1990s and early 2000s, rom-coms dominated theaters. But over time, superhero movies and giant franchises took over cinemas, and romantic comedies gradually moved to streaming. Now Netflix has become one of the biggest homes for the genre. Why? Because rom-coms are easy to rewatch, globally accessible, relatively affordable compared to blockbusters, and perfect for algorithm-driven streaming. But Netflix also knows audiences are getting tired of generic romantic comedies. So instead of giving viewers another safe, PG-rated love story, they're trying something sharper. An R-rated workplace comedy with Jennifer Lopez, Brett Goldstein, awkward office politics, secret hookups, and modern relationship humor. That's a much stronger hook. Especially online. Because clips from movies like this spread instantly across TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube Shorts. One awkward elevator scene can become free marketing for weeks. When the trailer dropped, audiences immediately started talking about one thing: the chemistry. Jennifer Lopez and Brett Goldstein somehow feel both mismatched and weirdly perfect together. And that unpredictability may actually be the movie's biggest strength. Goldstein doesn't look like a traditional polished rom-com lead. He looks tired, sarcastic, emotionally damaged, which makes him feel real. Meanwhile, Jennifer Lopez plays power and confidence effortlessly. So putting those two energies together creates immediate tension. The trailer reportedly leans heavily into awkward flirting, workplace secrecy, sexual comedy, and escalating disaster. And audiences online seem intrigued by seeing Goldstein break away from the Roy Kent image. Because for years, people mainly associated him with yelling, swearing, and football speeches. Now suddenly he's starring opposite Jennifer Lopez in a Netflix rom-com. That transition alone is fascinating. Let's talk about the R rating. Because this isn't accidental. Netflix wants people discussing this movie before it even releases. And saying, Jennifer Lopez stars in a new romantic comedy, gets attention, but saying, Jennifer Lopez stars in an R-rated Netflix comedy involving workplace hookups and graphic nudity, gets MUC.